hard work does not pay off. Now, I know this seems sort of controversial in the way of like everyone's always heard that, you know, work hard and you'll succeed, put your head down, grind, whatever, right? Blah, blah, blah. All that type of shit about the more effort you put in, the more you're going to gain or get out of whatever that thing is. And let me tell you, man, if you work a full-time job like me, you do anything like that, and you seriously go to work every day thinking like, oh, I'm going to give my 100%, like I'm going to give it my all today at work. I'm going to impress my boss. I'm going to do whatever. You are 100% being underpaid and exploited for your time and effort. If that's what you really think. Like that shit, man, my belief, that shit maybe in some cases will get you somewhere. If you're some kind of person with some natural talent where when you just put your head down and you gave something your all, you excel above everyone else. But if you were just a regular person, man, like you got to reevaluate, because that's a waste of your fucking energy, man. Like you will not get shit from showing up to work every day and giving it 100%. Maybe some tiny little fucking raises or something, like what, like fucking $1, like, you know, it's insane. Me personally, the way I go about stuff like this, like I work a full-time job, construction electrician, okay? And let me tell you, when I show up every single day, I do 10-hour shifts too, by the way. So I get that overtime in just because I'm trying to get my hours done sooner. See, when I tell you I show up to work every single day and do the least amount of work I possibly can for as long as possible, I mean it wholeheartedly. Like I work 10-hour shifts to get my hours done sooner, so I get that overtime pay. And every day I show up first thing, I try to kill the first hour or two without literally even starting work, walking around, fucking looking, pretending like I'm busy, you know, looking up at the ceiling, staring at some prints, walking around kind of quick, you know, making it seem like I'm trying to find something. I do this every day, and I do this to the furthest extent I could possibly push it without being like, you know, called out for being a lazy prick. And by the way, too, I want to throw this in. My boss, great guy. I fucking love working with the guy. But the thing is, man, I work for a company, and I work for a company that would have absolutely no fucking problem replacing me if they need. And I know some people might chime in and be like, well, become unreplaceable, you know? Oh, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, man, being unreplaceable is like, you know, who the fuck do you think you are, and what do you think you do, man? So many people can do what you do and better than you. And here's the thing, as a construction electrician, I don't fucking care enough to be the unreplaceable construction electrician. Like, get out, bro. Get out of here, man. Like, my company, you know, we don't even pay the highest rate. Like, I could go somewhere else and get paid higher. So, you know, this whole thing of like giving it your all at work, man, I don't understand it. It's inefficient. It's ineffective. You want to go there and you want to give literally do as little as you possibly can for as much money as possible. That is peak efficiency. Doing as little as possible for as much monetary value as you can extract, flat out. And that's how I go about work, because you know what, at the end of the day, I'm just an employee. You know, I'm not big on, you know, companies love to talk about like, oh, we're a family, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know the people, you know the owners, you know the bosses, and they're good people. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not fucking breaking my back for some fucking random guys that outside of this workplace, I don't even want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? Like, you're a cool guy, whatever. I don't care. Like, I got my own friends, I got my own life. I want to come here, do the least amount of shit possible for the most amount of money, and go back to living my life. Like, and in fact, I would like to spend as little time as possible. The only reason I'm doing 10-hour shifts is because I'm super close to getting my Red Seal ticket for my trade, and you get a grant for that. So I'm like, well, might as well, if I'm gonna get paid more, to just stay a little bit longer and then get a fat check for doing it sooner, then whatever, right? It doesn't bother me, and it does make you look good, but it doesn't mean I'm working hard. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a reason why I'm bringing this up though. Okay, a couple weeks ago, I worked with this guy, and it was what he did that really made me have that shift in perspective, or not shift in perspective, but I could see things like from that other angle. Like, I was in disbelief that this is how this guy actually thought of things. Like, so let me tell you what happened. Pretty much, it's this new apprentice. He's working with me some of the first time. I'm super chill, easygoing. I don't give a fuck. And pretty much what happens is there's two shifts at my work, a 6 a.m. shift and a 6:30 shift. I come in every day at 6:30, because if I come in at 6:30, everyone who leaves everyone who comes in at 6 leaves 30 minutes before me, which means that I can just leave more or less right after them. So every day I get to kind of leave a little bit early. And this guy this new apprentice was working with me, and I told him, I said, hey man, you know, at the end of the day, you're welcome to stay with these guys. We both start at 6:30, right? Just to clear that up. But I'm gonna leave with the 6 a.m. guys. So you're welcome to come with me, or you can go work with these guys, whatever you want to do. And I thought, you know, I'm just being I'm just being fucking cool guy, man. Like, chill. He's working with, you know, easygoing guy. He's like, fuck it, let's go home early, man. Like, it doesn't, whatever. Let's roll. It's not many opportunities you get to do that. So I was like, yeah, you know, let me treat the guy. And pretty much what ends up happening is we roll into our break room to go get our stuff at the end of the day, and some of the 6 a.m. guys are still there. And the 6 a.m. guys don't necessarily know it when I start. You know, maybe I came in at 6 and they didn't see me because I work alone most of the time. That's why it was like weird to have this apprentice with me for the first time. So I'm kind of like in a fortunate position of never being seen. So anyways, pretty much what happens is new apprentice guy starts saying to the 6 a.m. guy that, oh, he started at 6:30 and he shouldn't be leaving right now because there's no journeyman on site, or some shit like that. And in my head, I'm like low-key kind of starting to freak out, because it's like, bro, you're completely blowing our cover right now. You are telling this guy who doesn't know when we started. He doesn't know. Like, he didn't even see us come in. So it doesn't matter. We could just leave right now and no one knows. But now you're bringing it up to him that you're leaving right now with me, is saying like, oh, you can't be on the site because there's no journeyman. But this guy would not have a clue otherwise. And now you're bringing it up, to making it all this whole thing like, oh, well, you should be staying then, is what this guy's trying to say. And he's looking at me, not knowing that I also started at 6:30, right? Seeing me fucking try to walk out of there. And was like looking all confused, trying to figure out what's going on. And this apprentice starts saying like, oh, you know what? Maybe he'll just call our foreman. Now our foreman knows when we started. So if he calls our foreman's gonna be like, why the fuck are you guys leaving work half an hour early? And I'm trying to tell this guy like, yo, well, I'm not trying to tell him. I did tell him. I'm like, first of all, sorry, let me clear this up. Fortunately, the guy we were talking to doesn't give that much of a fuck and just wanted to go home. So he was like, left it to me to figure out, and he kicked. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm telling this apprentice, kind of like, you know, wiping my brow, like, holy fuck, dude, like, let's not make this a whole thing. And I tell him, I'm like, dude, you don't have to worry about this. Like, you don't ever gotta bring, don't ever bring this kind of stuff up. Like, you don't have to call the foreman and do this and that. Like, just just take it, you know, as it is. Like, you're offered this chance to go home. You don't have to call anybody and make a whole thing and report to anybody about this and that, like any kind of weird situation. Like, just pack up, don't say anything, go home, we're gonna be fine. And that's when I realized, like, holy fuck, there's people who are actually showing up here every day, thinking like they gotta be some kind of like you owe it to them to be honest, or to stay that extra, which, by the way, now it's like 20 minutes, right? Like, there's like 20 minutes left. So it really made me realize, like, holy shit, like, either I'm a fucked up guy, right, with terrible, bad, awful morals, or I'm just like an efficient person who, look, here's the thing too, I do a good job, all right? I just don't put a lot of effort in, but the work I do is good. So to me, it seems crazy that there's people who feel like they owe it to someone to be like this super honest and outstanding person, when it's like, bro, this is your life. Like, you don't have to treat work like you are in debt to them or you owe them something. Like, no, bro, fucking take those shortcuts when they're offered, get that pay bump when you can, exploit all the free time you could possibly get. Like, you want to get the most out of your job. So if you get the opportunity to leave early and still get paid, dude, to me, you're not dishonest or immoral if you are seeing that opportunity and taking it. So anyways, after this long ass story, kind of the point I'm trying to conclude here is that, like, if you think being this type of person, right, who is, being totally, you're being 100% honest, you're working your ass off every day, this and that, like, as if that is gonna get, like, you're gonna get something out of that, right? Like, you're gonna be rewarded. No, bro, you're not. And let me tell you something that hurts even more if you really think about it. If someone just doesn't like you, and it doesn't matter how fucking hard you work, if there's someone who's in a position higher than you who can make a call about what you're doing or whatever, right? Like, let's say you want a promotion and you've been working your ass off, but your boss doesn't even fuck with you. The guy who works less than you and takes the shortcuts and takes a shit ton of time off and shows up late and does all this stuff, but the boss fucks with, he will get that fucking promotion, not you. So anyways, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Am I like, am I fucked? I don't know. But I think that truly working hard, doing all this extra over the top shit for your job, especially, it's a scam, man. Like, it's a waste of your time, it's a waste of your life, it's a waste of your energy. Not worth it. Be smarter, be more efficient, exploit the system, get as much money for as little work as possible and for as less time as possible. That's what I say. Peace.